Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Now this video almost turned into me defending Hasan, which I know sounds incredibly fucking surprising given how much I've explained my disliking towards him, but I will get into that in just a moment. Now, everybody knows who Hasan is, and majority of the videos, which of course this one is going to be about, is usually about Hasan's shit takes. Now, who the fuck is Hasan? Hasan was on a stream, and he was talking about a story about how he doesn't want people to think that he doesn't want to be around them when he is just mentally drained after streaming for so long because it depletes his social battery.
But honestly, the real reason why I get like insecure when I'm out at events like that is because like I am a fun-loving person. I promise. But the issue is after 9 hours and 30 minutes of streaming, like high intensity, I am not a fun-loving person. At that point, I'm just like, I'm so tired. Like the life has been stripped from me. But yeah, my point is I personally feel insecure about like what my output looks like to other people. I don't want people to think that I'm like, you know, I hate being around them.
Now, I can even partially agree with this. I've tried streaming before, and I don't even think I have to say this, but I'm not a very social person. Most of the people in my life know that very well, right? So this can be somewhat of an agreeable take. And then somebody in his stream comments, now you know how it is with real jobs feel. I need to clarify this real quick because this is one of the things that Hasan was going completely apeshit over, even though he contradicts himself about this. Hasan mentions that working a 9 to 5 is less socially and mentally draining than streaming for 8 or 9 hours a day.
Now you know how it is with real jobs feel. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I used to have a real job and I was infinitely more social, because this is the one area where I absolutely will disagree with you on. Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Now, I already disagree with this. Now, a few months ago, I would work a job cutting grass or landscaping, whatever you want to call it. When I got home, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to lay the fuck down or play a game. I wasn't in the mood to talk to people. He also makes it a point to say that Twitch streaming is a bunch of people pleasing. And he mentions if you work in retail where you are supposed to do the people pleasing, it's very similar to Twitch.
A real job does not expend your social battery in the same way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. I'm telling you, as someone who did both, 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type,
which I completely disagree with, because if you are not good at people pleasing and that becomes noticeable, you can get fucking fired. It's not the same on Twitch, especially when you're someone who is a political streamer, which is the exact opposite of people pleasing. You can say whatever the fuck you want and you will still get paid at the end of the day. And again, to specifically clarify, he says that streaming is more mentally draining in terms of social battery than it is working a 9 to 5. Now here's the part where I almost defend Hasan. As shitty as that take was, people grabbed that clip and spun it out of context.
Hasan, XQC's response to Hasan's take that streaming is harder than a regular job? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I literally said something 10 minutes in, clipped out of context, had a conversation over it, immediately went to XQC, immediately XQC responds to it.
They made it sound like Hasan was saying that working a 9 to 5 is significantly easier than streaming in general, which obviously sounds significantly more delusional than his take already was. Now, people grabbed that small clip without context and ran with it and started making all sorts of assumptions about Hasan, which can understandably be pretty frustrating. And this Reddit thread talking about this clip that was taken out of context happened literal minutes after he said it. So Hasan made it a point to bitch about it on stream that this was not in context, which is important for a comment he makes later. So after all this shit happens, a bunch of people start making videos on this, especially another YouTuber who he's friends with named Ludwig. Now, Ludwig on his second channel made a video talking about this.
But I wanted to talk about this as a streamer myself for almost 6 years now on how hard it really is. I'm kidding. I would look. I just.
Oh God, it's just like, what's funny is you haven't even addressed this again since then. I know. It's just an opportunity for every single person to be like, look, guys, I'm a content creator. I'm really privileged. Like, yeah, dog, we all are. We all talk about it all the fucking time. It just annoys me because like, it's such a fake fucking thing to do. It's just literally using someone who you're friends with, like being maliciously clipped out of context to be like, I'm actually one of the good content creators. I know how privileged I am. It's like, yeah, I do too.
Now, the moment Ludwig makes a joke about this, and obviously makes it clear that streaming is not as hard as a 9 to 5, Hasan goes apeshit and just starts talking about how his own friend is throwing him under the bus, basically farming him for views, which I think is asinine because Ludwig even shows the context and even someone agrees with Hasan. Then Hasan makes it a point to say that this is exactly what Mudahar did, and how it's just farming views for drama. Then preceding that, someone points out that Mudahar actually showed context, where Hasan says, it doesn't matter.
Like, it's like no different than what Muda did. He showed the context though. It doesn't fucking matter that he showed the context. It's just a way to just literally farm off the fucking drama. Whatever. Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
So, Hasan doesn't give a shit about the context, he gives a shit that people are criticizing him on the internet. Now, sometime Hasan threw this massive bitch fit over this video. Ludwig took this video down and blamed it on not getting enough views for a good advertisement, which I think that's a huge load of bullshit. This was also preceding somebody tell him that he should call Hasan and apologize, but after Ludwig deleted that video, he made another video, which he labeled as a re-upload, which it wasn't, because his take changes throughout the entire video. I think it was a massive pussy move to take down that video, especially as having one of Hasan's friends call him out for his own shit take should kind of mean something, but then Ludwig bends over backwards to take the video down and please Hasan. If Hasan had just concluded this with saying, I worded this very poorly, I should never have compared this to actual 9 to 5 jobs, because lots and lots of people are disagreeing with what I'm saying given their own personal experiences that they live through every single day, this would have been a lot more simple and there still would have been videos, but at least Hasan would have something to back him up instead of just going on this fucking rant and bitching and crying and kicking his feet that his friend made a video talking about it. Anyways, that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed, thank you for watching and come back for the next.